let's get into some GPU news. There are more details from the 9070 GRE, and it will feature 12 gigabytes of memory. The most interesting part about that is that it does get a cut down memory bus to 192-bit from the regular 9070, which maintained the 256-bit that the 9070 XT has, and puts it at only a measly 480 gigabytes per second of memory bandwidth, which is just laughable for mining. Completely pointless card, in my humble opinion, for mining. It is what it is, you know? I mean, 5070 is even above that with the 672, and that's a 192-bit bus, but they got the GDDR7. AMD's fallen behind in a lot of aspects. Obviously, where they're really kicking ass is on the SoC side, integrated graphics side. That's where they're really focused. And then obviously the CPU side of things. FSR 4 is a game changer on the 9000 series. I will give them that. They finally are catching up to DLSS, which they really needed to do. And the fact that they can implement those into future launches of the Steam Deck is going to be very important from that aspect, which is really what I think it's going to be focused on, plus the new consoles. You know, if we get the Xbox handheld, which is supposed to be coming, PlayStation 6, those types of things, that's really where they're going to be focused. AMD and Radeon have been focused in that direction already for a very long time. And this is just, I mean, frankly disappointing, but expected at the end of the day. If you compare this, you know, to any GPU that's currently available, I don't think that you're really going to find a major benefit over the 6000 series. And we didn't see a benefit from AMD on the 7000 series side, right? So from the mining perspective, AMD hasn't had a good launch in 2 generations for mining, unfortunately. So I don't know what to say about it other than I'm a little disappointed. I do want to get a 9070, but mainly the 9070 is going to go into my HTPC for my bedroom gaming setup that I have, so I can have FSR 4 and run SteamOS on it, because that's what I do over there. Now, the 5060 Ti specs came out as well. And so those are here. We are getting 16 gigabytes of GDDR7, which is extremely exciting from the mining perspective. And that will, the problem is it's on a 128-bit bus. So it's only going to have that 448 gigabytes a second. The thing is, compared to the 9070, right? The 9070, when we take a look at that, we have, I believe, did they list the power? They didn't list the power. I thought I had seen the power for this. My understanding was we had a much lower power requirement on the 5060 Ti compared to the 9070 GE, right? So the 5060 Ti is going to have 180 watt TGP, which could offer some benefits. It'll be an interesting mining card. But the more enticing one will be the 5060 from the memory perspective, because it maintains that 448 gigabytes a second of total bandwidth with a total GPU power of 150 watts, which is 30 watts lower than the 5060 Ti, making an interesting choice for things like Ergo, obviously. And it'll be a lot faster than the 4060 Ti and 4060 on things like Ergo, right? So there you go, as far as that's concerned. And then finally in GPU news, the 9060 XT features 2048 cores and a boost clock of 3.2. And this one's going to have a 128-bit bus of GDDR6, only giving us 320 gigabytes a second of total bandwidth. Unfortunately, a little bit disappointing. We don't have power numbers for it yet, but, you know, compared to a 5060 Ti or 5060, really not going to be there, not going to be hitting what we want to see. Like I said, I think AMD and Radeon is really focused on perfecting FSR4. Unfortunately, on the gaming side too, Nvidia has really been focused on less raw horsepower improvements and more feature improvements, things like DLSS, encoding, AI sort of applications, that sort of thing. And so we're not getting that raw power, rasterization power that we used to see generation over generation. It's been a very boring space for a very long time. About 2 generations on both sides, with the latest generation of Nvidia being more enticing, just frankly for the GDDR7, which really isn't even something you could attribute to Nvidia fully, you know? That's more due to the fact that we got new memory, and that's really the important part at the end of the day. I hope you enjoyed this clip from the Crypto Mining Show. If you would like to see more from this particular episode, take a look up here. Don't forget to also subscribe to the channel, and if you want to support me directly, you can go to sonofatech.locals.com and become a member. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next Tuesday.